Hi there, welcome to this video. We are going to draw this lovely little fox using just basic shapes, okay, lines and rectangles and stars, just really simple stuff. Okay, we're going to start with a template to draw over the top and end up with this. All right, let's go and look at that now. Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to draw from this drawing that I've made, okay, just to make it simple and so we can all kind of follow along. Okay, so what I'd like to do is in Illustrator is we're going to go to File, New, okay, and pick a document size. I'm going to start with print. I'm going to use US letter. I'm going to use landscape, okay, and I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just going to click create. I'm going to save it. Okay, so I'm going to go to File, Save, and what we'll do for this class is I'll put everything on my desktop. You do the same. I'm going to make a new folder on my desktop. I'm going to call this one Illustrator Class Files. Okay, and that's where we're going to stick everything from this class. Let's call this one Sleeping Fox, and let's click Save. Let's leave everything as the default and click OK. All right, so we're drawing from a drawing. I've drawn it in my notebook, right, and I want to kind of just redraw it in Illustrator. So a nice trick to do that is I've done a scan of it, okay, or you can take a photo of it, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place. Now, Place is import, okay, for Illustrator. Illustrator likes to call it Place. Click on that. I want you to find your exercise files, and there's one in there called sleepingfox.jpg. Now, before you click Place, click on this one that says Template. What it does for us, let's have a look. Let's click Place. What it does for us is it brings it in, okay, and I'm going to click in the background here, and it puts it on a layer, okay, and locks it so we can draw over the top of it easily. Okay, where I click on my Layers panel here, you can see it created a template layer, and then a layer that I can draw on. You don't have to do this, okay, it just makes it a little easy when we're redrawing. For some reason, it likes to bring it in and kind of has it a little bit over here to the left. So I'm going to unlock it. Can you see that's the locking icon? I'm going to click on it, drag it across to a little bit more in the middle, somewhere like that, and then lock it again. And to continue drawing, I'm going to make sure I'm on layer 1. Let's jump back to properties. Now we'll start with this body here. We're going to grab the rectangle tool. Here he is here. And I'm going to click, hold, and drag out kind of a rough rectangle. If you don't get it quite right, jump back to the black arrow and use any of these white boxes here just to kind of resize it and get it kind of close to that size there. It's a bit of a guess. Don't worry too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a fill color and a stroke color. Now yours might be different. Yours might have a black line around the outside and a white fill. Let's look at changing those. So over here in my appearance panel, there's one called fill and one called stroke. Okay, so I'm going to click on fill and I'm going to pick a fox kind of color. Now we're going to use the swatches here. So you've got two options here, kind of the rainbow colors and the swatches. Let's just pick, just for this class, let's keep it simple and just pick something in here. You can have a green fox, that's okay. I'm just going to have an orange fox. And in terms of the stroke, okay, the stroke is the line around the outside. Yours might already be black. And you might see, I'll click off over here, you can see there's a black line. If I select on this and click on stroke color, now I want to use this little red line here. This little red line indicates no stroke, that little red crossed out, nothing there. So that's what I want. If nothing is changing, okay, what you need to do with your black arrow is just make sure this box is selected, then make your changes. Okay, so that's a rectangle, exciting, and that says fill color. Let's get into something a little more exciting. See these little dots in the corner here? These are your corner options. Watch this. I can click and drag these corners, okay, the little spots there, and you can notice that all of the corners come and change. Okay, so it's kind of what I want. I'm going to go to Edit, Undo. Okay, I'm going to use my shortcut for the rest of this course, so it's Command Z on a Mac or Control Z on a PC. So I'm going to undo a couple of times until it's back. Now what I'd like to do is, you can see underneath here the drawing, I've just got a corner there and a corner there. So what I'd like to do is use my white arrow. Remember, the black arrow is great for doing kind of like big things, moving the whole object. The white arrow is good for doing little bits within that object. And what I'm going to do is, in this top right hand corner, I'm going to click it once. You'll notice that this guy is blue and these guys are white, indicating that this one is selected. And you can see here just one little target appears. Okay, I can click on this guy now and go something like that. Same with the bottom left, click on that one, drag it up. Don't worry too much about being perfect. But if you really do want it to be perfect, what you can do is, I'm going to undo a couple of times, is you can have these guys selected at the same time. So click this guy once, hold shift, click this guy once, and you've got two dots. And when you drag one, they both update. Cool. So that's my little thing for his body. Let's look at doing the head now. So I'm going to go back to my black arrow. Remember, that's the default kind of tool to go to. Click off in the background, got nothing selected. And the next tool I want is the polygon tool, okay? Because I want a triangle for his head, and that's considered a polygon in here. So I'm gonna find the rectangle tool, click, hold, hold, hold with your mouse key, okay? Hold it down and eventually these pop out. And I'm looking for this one called polygon. Click on that. Now, if I just do nothing, it'll drag out whatever I last drew. Yours is probably gonna draw an actual pentagon or a hexagon. It's gonna draw something. Okay, so I'm gonna undo to get rid of that. If you wanna adjust how many sides this polygon has, all you need to do is just click once with your mouse. Click once, and you get these polygon options. Okay, and yours is probably set to 5, and you're probably getting something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna undo again. Click once, pick 3 sides. Don't worry too much about the radius, we can change that afterwards. So I've got a triangle. So next thing I want to do is do some rotation and scaling. And it's best to do that when we're back on our safety tool, the black arrow. I'm going to click, hold, and drag the center. Okay, so it's kind of in a more usable place. Now to scale and rotate, let's look at rotating first. So black arrow, I have this guy selected just once. Now what you'll notice is when I'm in the corner, I get this little stretching arrow. That's my scale. But if I come just a bit further out, I get this little double arrow. Okay, so this kind of like no man's land here. Too far, doesn't work. Just in, okay, you'll get used to it. Okay, so if I click and hold here, I can drag it around. Okay, clicking and holding. Now what I can also do is undo. I want it to be kind of like, I want to flip it in like, is it 90 degrees? I think it's 90 degrees. I want to, while I'm dragging, watch this. If I hit down and hold down the shift key on my keyboard, okay, watch this. Can you see it? Drags in like nice big chunks. Okay, it's 45 degrees and then 90. That's what I want. Now in terms of scaling, same tool, okay, black arrow. And if I grab that corner here and just drag it, I can resize it any sort of shape I want, clicking, holding, and dragging. Now I would like to kind of constrain the proportions so it's like this perfect triangle, because if I kind of scale it down here, it gets a bit long and thin. So what I'm gonna do is hold down the shift key, okay, like I did when I was rotating. If I hold shift while I'm scaling in any of the corners, you can see if I drag it down, it kind of wants to be the same height and width, it kind of locks that ratio. So I'm just gonna drag it kind of in there and drag it up a little bit, something like that. Okay, so getting close.